The NFL Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Bet Rivers. Claim your risk-free bet up to $500 over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetRivers. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetRivers. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Game Time tickets make the perfect holiday gift. Download the Game Time app today. Use promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. And we're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, a sports betting research platform for player props, parlays, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN and get 50% off your first month to start making smarter bets today. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NFL Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no voice, no guy. It's me, really Rel, Villain Rel, Terrell from Junior here at your service.
How about if you sweep it out?
What's the point? I can't do anything right.
You'll do fine.
Hey, pal. You just blowing from Stupid Town?
Keep trying, Patrick. How about if you sweep it out?
Hey, man, people get swept every day. People get swept every year. Every year people get swept. People get swept. Like, it happens all the time. And sometimes, you just chop it up. You get ready for next year and you try to come back, have a good off season, and do it again. But people get swept all the time. Like, it should not ever, we should not look down on people that get swept. That is a thing. And you know what? I'm here at my SA meeting for Swept Anonymous, of those of us that have gotten swept before. Braun's been in here. Braun actually left for a little while. They ended up started coming back to meetings. Who else?
He turned retirement, I think.
Yeah, Braun's been really good to me in this process too, by the way, of just giving me motivation, just keep going after getting swept. So shout out to Braun. Shout out to Braun for helping me out through this. And, as the Nebraska Cornhuskers used to say, stand by the road and cheer as the winners go by. I like to cheer on my co-host, Scott Studio Rochelle, for another show bet win against me, 4-0. 4-0 against me in the show bets, which is very frustrating because his locks graphic on our Twitter page is absolutely terrible, but he is killing me in these show bets.
I got two
Scott
straight,
Studio
though.
Rochelle,
I got two straight.
You have turned it around. I will give you that. You turned it around but shout out to you on the show bets 4-0. Scott Studio Rochelle, everyone.
Scotty,
Scott, what's
beat
going
me
on?
up.
Surprise.
Yeah, doing pretty well. The locks post every week was my kryptonite, but I've turned it around a little bit as the season has gone on. Shout out to this episode, too, because I ended up sweeping on the afternoon games episode last time out. Had the Rams minus 3.5. Props to Flacco, though. He wasn't totally awful, but the Rams got it done. The Browns on the road defensively are such frauds, but they're really good at home. But I had the Packers money line in that game against the Chiefs. Yes, there was a pass interference that was not called. They still needed the 2-point conversion, so the game was not officially a screw job, but the Chiefs got screwed, simply put, but it worked out well for me.
Oh, man, so, it's not even – and you know me. I'm Patrick Mahomes' biggest fan. Put my words together there. Patrick Mahomes' biggest fan. It should have been in that situation. It shouldn't have been that close of a game. It should have been in that situation where a pass interference call could even cost you the game, to be honest. So,
yep.
You know what? It is what it is. Chiefs didn't get it done.
I just don't think they're that good. The Chiefs are fine, but offensively, they don't have enough weapons, and defensively, they're good, but not good enough to overcome not having a great offense.
I actually don't care what the Chiefs do in the regular season because they've shown me multiple times that they flip a different mode in the playoffs after losing Tyreek Hill.
To be fair, they also had home field advantage in basically all of those playoff runs, and they just don't have that anymore. So they're in a different territory we're not used to. But Green Bay dominated most of the game. They were leading basically the entire way through. Jordan Love looked really good. That team's going to make the playoffs, and I can't complain. So overall, good episode. Hopefully, we sweep again.
Yeah. All right. I don't remember what my dog was. No, I don't remember.
Did you take the Eagles?
No, you didn't.
No?
I was all over 49ers. It might have been Browns. It might have been Browns. That didn't go well either. Shout out to you. It looked actually good for a little bit of the game, and then
They were fine. Then Flacco threw the classic arm punt Flacco interception. The game was over at that point.
And you know what? I said that I felt like it was going to be a Flacco interception that ended the game, but I just didn't think it was going to be like blowout ended the game.
Once he threw that pick, it was just an absolute avalanche at that point. The Browns were just done once he threw that pick.
Yeah, Adam in the chat said he was on the Rams too, kind of lucky at that cover there at the end. Like, and it's so funny to say that you're kind of lucky when it was 36-19, but that was a really closer game than what the score indicated.
I thought Cleveland outplayed them for the first 2.5 quarters, give or take.
Yeah.
But
it's suppressing. It's all right. Okay. Let's get into this slate of games because we're back on a 5-game slate. Thank you, NFL, for giving us 5 games to talk about.
Good games, too. We have multiple good games for once.
Yeah, this is a really, really good afternoon slate. Let's kick things off 4:05 evening slate. I'm sorry, not afternoons, evening for us East Coasters. Shout out to the evening games. We got 4:05 on the East Coast. Minnesota Vikings traveling to Las Vegas to play the Las Vegas Raiders. Minnesota opened up -1. They are currently -3. 40.5 is total. Raiders coming off of a bye. Minnesota's coming off of a bye as well.
Jefferson's back, right?
Yeah, Jefferson is back.
Okay.
That is the big thing for Minnesota. Jefferson's back. And I think that's why people are going to be betting Minnesota. But I'm kind of bought into the Antonio Pierce Raiders. I think I am. And this is why I say I am. And this is why I think the extra time to prepare is really, really good for Aiden O'Connell. Because the first move that he did when he got that that coaching job as the interim head coach was he straight up said, all right, it's not this Brian Hoyer game anymore. Aiden O'Connell is our quarterback. He's going to be the guy. We're going to go see what we have in this young talent. And you know how I feel about these aging backups that we know are dog shit in the league.
To be fair, we jinxed Bailey Zappi yesterday. He was not old, but we did jinx Bailey Zappi.
We did, whatever. Yeah. But, like, for the most part, we know these guys aren't that good in the league. Like, see what you have in a rookie you just drafted. You gave him one game, and then you pulled him and never played him again. So the confidence that he put in Aiden O'Connell, I think that showed off in Aiden O'Connell in those last 2 games when they were able to get those wins against the Giants and the Jets. Now it kind of, hit the fan, but that's Miami and KC. You're not really expecting to really do much. Even the Miami game was still closer than what people expected.
They were up 4-0 against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I like this Vegas Raiders team led by Antonio Pierce. Like, it just feels like they have a different swagger to them, a different energy, and like they woke it up. And Josh Dobbs, I can admit, while I've been bought in on Josh Dobbs, he's kind of an asshole at times. So give me the Raiders here, +3. Like, to these 2 teams, I'll just take the points.
I had a bunch of big money survivor pools, the grand prize. I think the net total is like $500K, and Dobbs killed me in that Bears game, and now I'm eliminated in every competition I was in. So that's how I'm coping with this. That was about 2 weeks ago, but still hurts. But they were leading. They go prevent every time on the final drive, and they give up points. It's a pain in the ass. But I'm going to lean Minnesota here. I don't think O'Connell's any good. I recognize that he's better than Brian Hoyer. At least you wanted to see him over Brian Hoyer. O'Connell's not good. We can just call it what it is. I think Dobbs is not great either, but he's better than O'Connell. Jefferson coming back and help the receiving core. I do think Minnesota's defense is good. The issue is they go prevent every time. Late in game, blow a bunch of leads late. But overall, it's a pretty good defensive unit. I do acknowledge that the Raiders have looked better and more competitive with Pierce as the head coach. But you beat DeVito, who just started being the quarterback at that point. So actually got injured mid-game. Daniel Jones got injured. So DeVito didn't know what he was supposed to do in that game. And then they played the Jets and Zach Wilson. So
what's the talent difference between Zach Wilson and Josh Dobbs? Like, I get that we talk about how bad Wilson is, and we really don't talk about how bad Dobbs is recently because 1, he's been good for fantasy. 2, he's been getting wins with this Vikings team, and he's just looked the part. Like, looked a lot better this year.
When you say Dobbs and how bad he's been, he was god awful in the Monday night game. He was worse than Kirk Cousins ever was in Monday Night Football. But besides that one game, he's been fine for the most part, Dobbs. Even the Denver game. Yes, he fumbles sometimes, some turnovers, but he was good against Denver. He was okay. Minnesota's been in a shot to win games against pretty good competition. And even the games they lost were one point to Denver on a comeback drive,
Mhm.
blew another lead with a lead against the Bears late in the game they probably should have won. You get my point. I think the Vikings are the better team. I'm going to lean Minnesota. I get your point of the Raiders being better with Pierce, but I just think Minnesota has more talent. I don't trust the Raiders secondary. You're getting Jefferson back, which helps. I'm going to lean Minnesota in this game.
Adding that this is a non-conference road spot as well for Minnesota. I'm just going to further cement me on Las Vegas +3 here. But 40.5, that total was interesting because it was opened up at 48.5. It's all the way down to 40.5, and it probably still isn't low enough, to be honest. Because Las Vegas defense actually isn't pretty bad. And they've still been playing like up to par with Antonio Pierce as head coach here. Like I said, the Chiefs game got away from him with that 31 points, but 20 to Miami is pretty good.
Yeah.
On the road, 20 to Miami.
That was a very
when
good
you
show.
were 14-point dogs, like that's pretty good.
That's how I look at it. But
yeah, under 40.5. That's probably the best play in this game, honestly. All right, next game on the slate. Seattle Seahawks. Well, no, before we do that, gotta talk to you about Bet Rivers. Because you can go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetRivers and you can sign up and get that risk-free bet up to $500. And guess what? You can use Bet Rivers all over the U.S. They're available in over 14 states, plus Ontario, Canada. They have a whole bunch of different live betting markets. Their props are second to none. They have all of this stuff. I mean, I just don't really know what to tell you. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. You got the depositing, withdrawing, super easy. That's the if you really want to grind my gears, make it super hard for me to deposit. Like, I'm just not going to use your app. Like, if the deposit steps take too many times, I'm just not going to use the app and go somewhere.
They also give you a lot of free bets and stuff because I've been using them a lot.
Yeah.
That's actually one of my favorite books.
Yeah. So, problem gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLERS, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetRivers. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BetRivers for a risk-free bet up to $500 from the customers. Use that sign-up link. And we're brought to you by PrizePicks because they have their awesome reboot bonus. Everybody talking about, hey, void this player, void this player, void this player, void this player. Well, guess what? PrizePicks is doing that for you with their reboot bonus. If you lose a player in the first half and they don't return in the second half, then they will reboot that player. Only daily fantasy sports platform with that injury insurance like that. You have the community plays that you can tell, your favorite players. Like you can tell Nick Mill, you can tell Andrew Schultz. Pretty sure my 85 South Show guys, they got their plays up there as well. You can tell all of that over at prizepicks.com/SGPN. Use code SGPN for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/SGPN, code SGPN. PrizePicks, daily fantasy sports made easy. All right, Scott. Next game of the slate, we have the Seattle Seahawks. Back playing the 49ers again, this time in San Francisco. 49ers are laying 11. 46.5 is total. What was the final score of that other game?
They won, I think it was 31-14.
Yeah, it was bad.
Actually, no, I think it was 31-13. But they won by double digits.
Whenever I'm taking San Francisco as a road favorite and they actually cover, like you just know you played a bad game. Kyle Shanahan sucks as a large road favorite like that.
It was 31-13, by the way.
I mean, does Pete Carroll and them make any adjustments?
I'm going to ask you this. Do you think normally I would take the Niners because I think the Niners are a much better team. However, isn't this a great buy low scheduling spot for the Seahawks?
Yes.
It was a heartbreaker on Thursday night, so you have extra prep time. The Niners won their regular season Super Bowl. Yes, I know you're still trying to catch Philly for the 1 seed in the NFC, but you had a revenge game from the NFC title game. You came out, you've been focusing on this game for weeks, probably the entire season, and you buried the crap out of them. It's a good letdown spot, isn't it? The division's basically over anyway.
And you have another, I mean, it's a look ahead, kind of not a look ahead. I mean, it's Kyler Murray and the Cardinals next. It's still a division game. But it's really like,
if the Niners win this game, the division's basically over if they win this game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the division's over regardless. But
yeah, I think it is over too. But
I think that where I'm at is that, when a wounded animal backed into a corner, Like Seattle's playoff hopes are on the line, basically.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're that good. But having said that, are they good enough to score against this Niners defense? Now, Dallas's defense we think is overrated, but they were
Yeah.
great. Now, Geno got injured again. He hurt his forearm again. So I'm not sure how healthy he's going to be. That kind of limited him on the final couple drives. But the Niners, once again, won a big game on the road by a lot of points. It does seem like a very good letdown spot. Now, San Francisco in a letdown spot still might be good enough to beat the Seattle team by 14 points. So that is worth saying, but the spot itself, I feel like a lot of people really want to lay this spread with Shanahan, and I don't feel great about it.
I don't trust him laying big numbers, man. Like I was just kind of sold that I just thought this team was clearly better, and on Thanksgiving they would show it, and they did, but I didn't like it. But now it's at 11. Seattle's backed into a corner. Like at the very least, you got to try to win this game.
Show
yeah,
something.
for pride reasons, and the next two games are brutal for them, and then it opens up very nicely. So they have San Francisco this week, Philly next week at home. Then they get Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Arizona.
Okay.
So if you just sit there and say we can win those three games, that puts them at what? 9-6 right now. If you get a win either this week or next week against Philly,
is that a home game
good.
against Philly or a road game?
It's a home game.
Okay. All right.
So you
Philly's
feel, and it's on
Monday
night.
So
and it's on Monday night.
Okay.
So you feel really good. I just think that maybe they don't get the win, but they're going to be competitive because they understand they have to try to steal one of these two games.
I think that's one of the regrets I had from the Thursday night episode with the Cowboys and Seahawks was that I took the Cowboys because of how good they are at home. Mm-hmm. Seattle is not a great team, but they're better than most teams getting double digits. Like, they're fine. Mm-hmm. They're fine. The Niners, I think, are the best team in the league by a mile, but it's a good spot. I'm going to lean Seahawks, keep it close, maybe a backdoor cover, San Francisco by 7. I'm not picking Seattle to win the game. I didn't lose my mind, but I think that the Seahawks keep it close.
All right, what you like for the total?
I'm going to lean over in this game. Seahawks offense woke up a bit last week. I don't think Seattle's defense is that good. We've seen it get exposed for the last couple weeks. Give me the over. Debo's back. He was so good against Philly. Purdy's, for some reason, the MVP favorite. Doesn't deserve to be, but they might try to pad his numbers too. They can't stop McCaffrey either. I'm on the over. I think you're going to see points in this game.
All right, I think it's points too. I do.
If Seattle covers, I think they score.
Yeah, so. They scored. Same thing. I'm here with you. All right, so let me see. What? Oh, I am in the NBA. That's why I was trying to build. No, I am in the NFL. Oh, that's officials. Duh. I just was curious on what Pete Carroll was when he was catching double digits, because I do like Pete Carroll as a dog. So it feels like a double-digit dog. It's like something that I would get behind. Let me see here. Spread. Let's move this to. Oh, this is. Hold on. Pete Carroll as a dog. 50, 34, and 3 all time. $100 better would be up $1,300. And let's see here. Now if we go to 10, this is literally my process, guys. I get an idea in my head. I just go for it. Well, 2-0 there. 10, 11.
They've murdered Seattle on a regular basis for the last 2+ years. Like, I acknowledge it, but I think it's a good letdown spot.
Yeah, no. Yeah, 3-3 as a double-digit dog. So not really anything. No juice off the squeeze there. But yeah, I'm still going to back Seattle plus points there. It's just too many points for Shanahan. For
really division game, Seattle's desperate.
Shanahan never tries to win by margin. It just accidentally happens.
Keep an eye on the backdoor cover. I think it's pretty live in this game.
Me too. I like that. All right. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and talk about game time. Because if you're looking for tickets to this game in the day, hey, great place to go catch a game. Good weather, good vibes. Great place to go catch a game. You can do that through Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And you don't have to worry about anything. Like, they can go in there, go in the app, and snag the tickets without the stress. It makes the perfect holiday gift, too. If you want to go buy some tickets, hey, man, if anybody wants to get me holiday tickets, You can don't buy me tickets to a Giants game because unless it's in a dome or it's in a warm environment. I really don't care for seeing the Knicks. I would actually prefer to see LeBron or Ja or Devin
I'm trying to
Vassell.
coordinate with some friends. I'm not a Knicks fan, obviously, but Halliburton's coming to MSG in a couple weeks, and I want tickets.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, you can send me to see Halliburton too. I really like. I'm down to go to any game, but don't send me to a Knicks game. I don't need that stress in my life.
Fair.
And if you buy me tickets to a Knicks game, like that's such a troll give. Like that's such a troll give. Because I clearly just said don't do it. And I'm sure somebody's going to buy me tickets to a Knicks game eventually. And I'm going to go. I'm just going to have a heart attack while I'm there.
You can go to see Halliburton, you know?
Yeah, and then Halliburton gives them 50 and I have a heart attack.
But you bet the the PRA, and suddenly the tickets are free.
So my friend last season went to a Knicks game, first time in New York, and he said he was in there and it was some Italian guys behind him. And he was like, why does everybody think they're Michael Jordan when they come to the Garden? Why? And I was so weak because I was like, man, I talk about this all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase to get those tickets for the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app. Lowest price guaranteed. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Enter any parlay idea into the Hall of Fame Bets Parlay Optimizer tool. And guess what? It's going to give you hit rates broken down by leg as well as expected probability for the entire parlay. Hit rate, all of that is great. Use it for the NFL, use it for NBA, use it for soccer, use it for all of that. Historical stats and data. Make sure you tap in to Hall of Fame Bets, where over 30,000 users are locking in. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. All right. We got 2 games out the way, 3 to go. Let's talk about the Denver Broncos I guess it's not a toilet bowl game anymore, but it's toilet bowl for me because I don't like betting Russ, and I don't like betting Brandon Staley. But we have the Los Angeles Chargers who are welcoming the Denver Broncos in this divisional matchup. Open up -3. They're now -2.5. 44 is total. Down to 43.5, actually. And yeah, I still stand by there's never a good situation to bet Russ. But they've done better. And to the point where I think people in SGPN have actually ranked the Broncos in their top 10. How many has it been for Staley?
How many what has it been?
Losses at home.
I got to check because the New England game last week was on the road and they didn't score a single touchdown. So I got to see.
So they lost to Baltimore. They lost to the Lions. And then
those are 2 close games, to be fair. But yeah.
And then they beat the Bears. That was it. The Bears Halloween.
With Badgett at quarterback.
Yeah, they're due. This is such a.
I can't believe the Chargers are laying a field goal in this game. Both of these teams always have like 1 possession games in the final minute every single week.
Who's gonna throw the game more, Russ or Brandon Staley?
Probably Staley, right? Because he's going for it in his own 20. Say what you want about Russ. Once again, he has not been great recently. There have been some comeback wins. And I know that he threw the interception against Houston in the red zone last week, but Denver seems to always be in a spot to win the game in the final minute. They're getting 3. I think that's pretty appealing.
Yeah.
Plus, generally speaking, if you expect the game to be close, like 1 possession close, you're usually favoring the dog. So I like Denver here. I'm not laying 3 with Staley. That's just not going to happen.
You're right. Brandon Staley is actively trying to lose his job. I think Russ just sucks. I don't think he's actively trying to lose his job. So fine.
And Denver's found ways to win games even with Russ being an idiot sometimes. So the Chargers don't win these close games. They just don't win them.
And they suck at home, man.
They don't have a real home field environment because the road.
Yeah, but I don't think the Rams are this bad. Like Chargers.
No, the Rams have, because they won a Super Bowl. They'd at least have some fan base.
All right, give me the under 2.
By the way, just to ask, by the way, do you know how many 1 possession games the Chargers have actually won this season?
None. Oh well, one. But the last week against 6-0. That's technically one possession. 6-0.
That's one possession. The answer is
so one.
The answer is 2. They beat the Vikings on that goal line stand at the end. Actually, no, 3. The Raiders game was also close, but they have a losing record in 1-score games. They're just not good in these spots. I'm going to take the points.
Yeah, no,
congrats. You gave up no points to Zappy. Congratulations. I'll lean to Denver.
All right. Now the next 2 games are quite authentic. Well, I lied. One of them is authentic. We have the Buffalo Bills traveling to go play the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City is laying 1.5. 48.5 is total. Do I have a drop for this? Do I have anything? I don't.
This matchup looks so much better like 2-3 months ago.
Dog. Kansas City's about to dog walk Buffalo. Dog walk Buffalo.
Do you think the Chiefs are fully capable of actually dog walking any good teams at this point?
Yes, because I don't know if Buffalo's going to be able to score.
Okay.
I'm sure they will. I mean, I'm sure I'm being too rough. Like, I'm sure they will. But the Chiefs are still going to win this game. In Arrowhead. Just coming off of a loss. Playing as Buffalo never, like, I mean, maybe in the regular season. And so maybe that's the point.
Buffalo's been decent in the regular season. They just lose every playoff game to Kansas City.
Yeah, they just lose every playoff game. They beat so that's your angle, that they win the regular season games and they lose the playoff games. But I think the Chiefs team is pissed off. I think Patrick Mahomes is pissed off. I think that they are still working to find that offensive rhythm. And I get it's 12 games into the season, but like, these are really young receivers. Like, Rashee Rice is their best receiver, and he's a rookie wideout. Like, really young receivers.
He's good.
Yeah, he is. I like him. And so, and receivers just take time. Like, even second-year receivers aren't at where they're supposed to be at. Look at the Green Bay Packers, who are just trotting out first- and second-year receivers and just kind of figuring it out as they go. So, I think that Kansas City's still figuring the offensive piece out. That's the portion that has me kind of worried, and that's why I'm all over under 48.5, because I think that KC's defense isn't giving up anything, but I do think that the offense still has some kinks to work out. But Buffalo sucks, man. I don't even think I ranked Buffalo this week. Like, I'm done with Buffalo. They suck.
I did not have Buffalo ranked. I know that one of our friends with the network, co-member of the network, Adam, who's a Bills fan, was not exactly happy with some of us leaving the Bills off the rankings. You got to win some games, man. Like, if you're not in a playoff spot, I'm not going to put you in the top 10. It's just not going to happen. So if you win this game, we'll reevaluate. But I can't. Having said that, I'm picking Buffalo in this game. I think it's a good spot for Buffalo. I've been low on the Chiefs for a couple of weeks. It's worked out well. Shout out to the Packers once again. But it's a great scheduling spot for Buffalo. Chiefs are off of a night game, which they lost in somewhat heartbreaking fashion. The Bills had a bye. I think these teams are closer than you might think because I don't really trust either team. And I know Mahomes is great. I get it. I know how talented he is. But Kelsey has potentially lost a step or two. He does not look like the same guy he used to be. The receiving core is very young. Buffalo offensively was very good against Philly. They couldn't get a stop to save their lives at the end of the game, which is why they lost. But I do like them having a bye in this spot. I'm going to take Buffalo. Do I feel great about it? No. Am I going to show bet this? No. Because Buffalo is a psycho team. But I do really like the scheduling spot. And Buffalo has been good in the regular season against the Chiefs. I'm going to take Buffalo plus the 1.5.
Yeah, no. I'm back at Patrick Mahomes here. But I would 100% show bet Patrick Mahomes. And anytime you fade Patrick Mahomes, I'm 100% ready to do a show bet. But I just feel like my stench is all over it. And if I ruin this for Pat, I'm going to never forgive myself. So I'm going to let it slide. And I'm just going to let Pat enjoy the win this time. And we'll reevaluate next time you decide to fade Patrick Mahomes or GOAT. All right. Rivalry week.
It's a hell of a game, man. It's a hell of a game.
Hey, man. I'm not gonna lie, yo. I hate the Cowboys, but this is a doozy. Like, this is a really, really good one. Philadelphia Eagles on the road going to play the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. Eagles have not won in Dallas since 2017, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that was the stat. Dallas minus 3.5, open up -1 is now up to -3.5. 52 is the total on Sunday Night Football. Whoo-wee. I'm going to let you start, Scott. You are the closet Cowboys fan. Does
Cowboys have been
Dallas get it done?
Cowboys have been good at home. They have extra prep time because they played on Thursday night. Having said that, they got torched by Geno Smith for about 3.5 quarters. That's not a good look. Bland was an embarrassment for a half. Now, he had an interception late. Could have been 2 on that fourth down prayer by Geno. But the Eagles got curb stomped in their home stadium against probably the best team in the league. I understand why the Cowboys are favored because the Eagles were kind of overrated all season long because they kept winning games they got outplayed in. And I mentioned that last episode, and the Niners killed them as a response. I don't want to lay 3.5 with a defense that got killed by Geno Smith. And I do acknowledge the Eagles are kind of injured. Jalen had concussion protocol midway through the game last week. They had a lot of guys who were banged up. Devontae Smith was on the injury report. Swift was on the injury report. I think A.J. Brown might have been on the injury report. They ended up playing, but they were below 100%, which is why I mentioned it on the show last week.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm picking a close game, once again, I'm not going to lay it. I'm going to take Philly in the spot. I still don't trust McCarthy's decision-making. That decision to throw the ball on third down to save Seattle an extra 40 seconds before the final drive was so stupid, but I wasn't surprised that McCarthy did it. I'm going to lean to Philly in this spot. Even if Dallas wins, I really see a close game. Now, Dallas outplayed them pretty heavily in the first game, and they still lost because they found a way to blow a couple of really good chances to get over the hump. I've seen it too many times with this Dallas team. If they come out and win this game, I wouldn't be shocked. But Philly finds ways to win games where they don't play their best game. I have not seen Dallas do that often. I'm going to go with Philly plus the 3.5.
Yeah,
it's a good spot, though. Philly getting curb stomped at home, it's a pretty nice bounce back spot, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. And I think it's about, teams are due. The Giants are due to beat Cowboys and Eagles. They just still haven't done it yet. But the Eagles actually have the cast where they can beat Cowboys.
I would say the Giants are due, but they lose every game at this point by 40. They're going in the wrong direction for the due-ness. So we'll put a pause on that one.
Yeah, soon. One day, I'm sure. But
it's a lot of points.
And, 3.5. First of all, the hook is crazy. Yes, I love 3.5. But I really think they win this game. And like you said, I think it's the bounce back angle. I think that, this deep. Why do it's like they keep collecting infinity stones of talent, of players that people just throw around the league.
I don't know how good Darius Leonard is anymore, but it's a nice boost to the linebacking core.
Anything is better than what they were dealing with, though.
Yeah.
Like any type of change is better than what they were dealing with because they were getting cooked in the middle of the field. So hopefully that turns things around. I think it'll be a lot better. I think that the Dallas defense, like we said, a little bit overrated for me. I think that this is a spot where we'll see them try to get pressure on Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts has just been so good getting the ball out. Like I just think he's going to be able to get the ball out quick, and they're going to get it to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and they're going to be able to work that secondary. So I'm all over the Eagles here in this spot. Total is interesting, though, because we do have a Sunday night game. I think I'm just going to go with my Sunday night under and just let it ride because I honestly don't know what I like because I could see this being a 33-30 type of game.
Yeah. The first minute in the season, despite both teams scoring or at least having a lot of long drives and Dak having an insane stat line, game only landed 51. It was fluky because you had a 2-point conversion where Dak stepped out of bounds. You had the tight end getting tackled at the inch line on fourth down. There were a lot of nail-biting plays, Dallas not scoring on the final drive inside the 10-yard line. So the game should have went over this number, but it didn't. I'm going to take the over. I know that the primetime games have been low scoring, but we just saw Dallas in a Thursday night primetime game, and that game had about 70 points. I'll be on the over. I just think both offenses are going to be able to do whatever they want against these defenses. Philly's defense we've criticized all year long for not being that good, and now Jordan Davis is banged up. They have some injuries on the front, which is concerning to me. Dallas got cooked by Geno Smith again. Like, I got to restate that. They got cooked. And DK did whatever he wanted in that game. Now you have to deal with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
They were looking ahead.
Yeah, I'm on the over. I think you're going to see a lot of points in this game. It's also in a dome, so weather's not a factor. That's good enough for me. Give me the over.
Lock, dog, PrizePicks. For my lock, Patrick Mahomes -1.5.
Okay. I enjoy laughing at the Bills. I just like getting teams off the bye.
For my dog,
Raiders? I'm trying to think of who you're tempted by. Eagles?
yeah, Eagles +150.
Okay.
I just had to find the price on the Eagles and made sure that it was worth it. 150 is worth it. Eagles +150.
Okay. For my lock on the show, what do I want to go with here? There's a couple choices that I'm kind of intrigued by, but I gotta just think of which angle that I want. You know what? I think it's going to be correlated to your play, but I'm going to go slightly in a different direction. Give me the Eagles team total over in this game.
Yeah.
I just don't trust Dallas's defense. It's in a dome. I know that the Eagles are a bit banged up, but it's mostly on the defensive side of the ball. Offensively, they've still been pretty good. The Niners buried them. Like that happens. You're not going to be perfect for an entire season. They got the wake-up call they needed, a reminder that they're not bulletproof. They can still get curb stomped every now and then. I see a focused Eagles effort offensively in this game. Dallas defensively, yes, they can get after the quarterback, but their secondary is definitely a point of concern. And even the linebacking core, there's a reason why the Cowboys were also trying to get Darius Leonard. It's because their linebackers aren't that great. And I do think that the Eagles can find openings against this team. So for me, I'm going to trust Hurts to have a bounce back game. And I do think that you're looking at a spot where the Eagles can get to 28 points in this game, maybe even less than that. But I do think that this number, let me just quickly pull up what the number is. It should be around 24 in change, give or take. I'm just trying to quickly pull this up.
It's
But
24 and a half. It's 24 and a half.
Okay. I might buy that down. Let me just quickly see what line I can get. So I did find the Eagles at 23 and a half at minus 135. I'll take that. I do think 24 is a pretty reasonable outcome for this matchup, but the Cowboys defense leaves a lot to be desired. Give me the Eagles team total over to score, maybe not win the game, but at least keep the game close. And as for my dog, I think I'm going to go with Denver on the money line, which is dangerous because I know that Russell Wilson and Denver don't always show up for some of these games on the road. I can't lay points with Staley. I can't do it. Congratulations. You won without scoring a touchdown last week. I'm proud of you. Trubisky scored 2 touchdowns against the Patriots. You couldn't score a single touchdown against the Patriots, really? Like, that's a problem. Give me the Broncos money line. A little bit of a small price at like plus 125, but I think the wrong team's favored. I'll take Denver.
All right. Any prize picks come across your eye for this slate?
Well, we're going to be on one Eagles receiver. We got to just pick if we want Devontae or if we want A.J. Brown. You have a preference? Because I think we want one of them, right?
Let's see here. Hold on.
Unless you want to go Lamb, which is also an option. But
I'm good on Lamb.
Okay.
Brown. AJ Brown, 79.5. Devontae Smith.
Yeah, okay, I'll go over. Brown for 79.5. What are you kidding me?
58.5.
Both those numbers are low, but I think Brown's going to have a big game.
Yeah. All right. Brown. Moore, 75.5 receiving yards.
Is there an interception prop you want to give out? I know you liked Baker interception last week. And
you can't get the interceptions up here.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Hold on. I found some. Okay. So we got Ritter, Minshew, Browning, Dobbs, O'Connell, Mahomes, Hurts.
O'Connell's listed. I find that surprising. I think O'Connell's throwing one.
Yeah, I like Minnesota's defense. I mean, even though I like the Raiders to win the game,
O'Connell's still not a great quarterback. Like, he's going to throw 100%.
I'm with you. All right, that's 2.
And then I'm assuming you want Rice for the Chiefs if they have him listed.
No, I don't like him that much.
Okay. I'm trying to think of.
I was going to take Patrick Mahomes over passing touchdowns. They don't have it.
Do you want McCaffrey to do something? Debo? You want Debo? He was good on Thanksgiving, and he had a big game last week. You on Debo?
Too many good games. Like McCaffrey.
We can do Debo half a touchdown, which is tempting.
No, that's not up here.
Okay. You want Geno interception? Run it back.
Did I say Geno?
Oh no,
Where's-
we said O'Connell initially. We can do Geno.
No, but did I say Geno when I was reading that list? No, they don't have Geno up here.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's just Ritter, Minshew, Browning, Dobbs, O'Connell, Mahomes, Hurts.
I don't know if I have anything else that I really like.
Let me see. Let me see. I can add to us.
You want Russ interception, but that involves the Chargers defense, and I just can't get behind that.
Russ isn't up there.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah, those names that I listed are literally the only names available for interception.
I forgot the names though. So Josh Allen is not there.
Nah, he's not.
Okay, because that's an interception that you have to play every week at this point. So
we can. Who do I want it back?
You want Jefferson first game back?
Nah.
I don't know if we can do that.
If I were to take any of the receivers, I would take Adams over Jefferson.
Okay, you want to take Adams? I mean, we saw DJ Moore of a big game.
We can do.
It was
Adams.
mostly like dump off screen passes, but we can take Adams.
Hold on. Let me see where he's at.
What's his number?
Adams. I got 70.5 receiving yards.
Sure.
Oh, hey, hold on. Wait a minute. Found something. Shout out to PrizePicks for these fun little props that they have. We have a Justin Jefferson and Devontae Adams combined half rush and receiving touchdown.
Yeah, one of them to score. That's fine.
Let's do it. That's it. So one of Devontae Adams or Justin Jefferson to score. More. Aiden O'Connell, half an interception. More. A.J. Brown, 79.5 receiving yards. More. Put that in the PrizePicks. That gives you 5-1.
Cool.
Glad we figured that out. I think we just got another heater there, Scott. Anything else for people before we get up out of here?
No, not really. Always fun to do the afternoon game show. Hopefully we sweep again. And hopefully the Sunday night game turns out to be a good one.
Yep. And for the 3 people that are catching us in the stream, shout out to Adam in the chat, holding it down for everybody, holding it down by himself in the chat. Shout out to you, Adam. Shout out to 3 people in the stream. Make sure y'all like the video. Drop us a comment too as well. We appreciate that. That helps the algorithm. And for everybody that's listening, wherever you get your podcasts, make sure that you leave us a 5-star rating and review. Other than that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do, no other way of ending the podcast. We're just going to do it like this. We are out of here.